Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to break down the 7-game NBA main slate on Monday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. And we just talk about how crazy that NFL game was for a second. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like pacing around my apartment. That was absolutely insane game to end the year. I was really hoping for the tie because I love the Chargers. I love Eckler GOAT. But unfortunately, the Raiders ended up kicking the field goal, and we get to see one more week of Dusty Big Bun. But hey, that is what it is. If you guys are unable to watch these YouTube videos, I also upload on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. It's called the DK DFS Show. Premium content, I offer that on patreon.com, NFL and NBA package. Cover the main and the showdown slates. Going to be a lot of showdown slates now. I believe there's games Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This next weekend, I believe. So gonna be a lot of showdown slates there for NFL. And the sponsor of this video, guys, is Prize Picks. If you're not familiar with Prize Picks, it's a player prop site where you can take over under on fancy points, you can take over under points, rebounds, assists, a lot of different ways you can play. You can mix and match sports. So there's NFL, again, there's NBA. They have college football. If you guys want to play college football for tomorrow, they do have that national championship, esports, soccer, tennis. Basically every single sport you can think of, and you pick 2 to 5 player props and you can win up to 10x your money. So if you guys want to try it out, make sure to sign up and use my code DKDFS. It is DKDFS, all one word. You'll get a free $100 bet if you deposit $100 using my code. Again, 100% match up to $100. Again, link is down below. And yeah, I want to thank you guys again for your continued support. All you guys come in every single day and supporting these videos, supporting the live streams. Really cannot do this without you guys. So I want to say thank you again. If you enjoy, again, just hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Okay, so before we get into players and the prices, let's look back lineup here from last night. I'm on extreme tilt mode. So it was looking like I was going to take down tonight and then a random blowout for Memphis and the Lakers. LeBron pulled with like 8 minutes left. Grizzly starters pulled. The funny thing is, okay, so the Grizzly starters get pulled. I'm like, all right, well, this is bad. I'm not going to take down, but I'll probably still have a good night because now I'm going to get, low-owned Melton and low-owned Conchar to play in the blowout. Nope. Dusted off Santi Aldama and Jarrett Culver. And I swear, Memphis has 30 players on the roster. And I'm not kidding, right? They do not have, 15? They have more than 15 players. They have, I swear, the biggest roster. There's just always someone on the end of the bench they can bring in. So I was so tilted about that. And then the funny thing is, the Lakers scrubbed, ended up making a run. So, the Memphis starters came back in with, a minute left. So I did get a couple extra points from John, Triple J, but, man, if this game stays competitive, I'm probably taken down. So, my lineup was Ja, McLemore, Conchar, Triple J, Nurkic, Melton, LeBron, and Alex Len. And what I was talking about on Patreon in the live stream today was I wanted to leave a lot of spots open for these late 2 games. Now, we didn't know the status of De'Aaron Fox going into lock. We didn't know the status of anyone on Memphis. But I wanted to leave as much flexibility as I possibly could. So I just literally played everyone in the late 2 games. And it ended up working out, but it was a little bit annoying. We got the Memphis news literally at 8 p.m. Central, right when the Portland game locked. It's like we couldn't have got the news a couple minutes earlier, right? But yeah, all in all, it was a really good night, and I probably should have this up, but here, I'm gonna go to my profile. It was a really good day for us in NFL and in NBA. Some takedowns here. So this is one takedown. Reese was in it. Member took down first place, $1,000. Love to see it. Here's some other big winners. Once it loads up. $10,000 on NFL. That's some big money. So congrats again. To all the big winners here. Michael with a huge win, $1,300 off what was that, 50. Tori is on a heat. Tori's on another level right now. He is actually on fire. That gif of the guy walking on fire, that's actually Tori right now. So yeah, big winners all around. Football, like I said, football, NFL and NBA. Let's see, there's a couple other ones. Takedown in FanDuel, $7 into $3,000. Yeah, it was a really, really good night all around. And also, can we talk about that block from Ja? That's the block of the year. That is so much crazy stuff happened tonight. But again, congrats to all of the big winners. This is the winning lineup in the Hall of Famer $2,000 entry. D'Lo, NAW, Little, Covington, Towns, Simons, Clark, and Nurkic. And, a couple other things. So, a 2020 game for Kuzma with everyone back for Washington. Are you serious? Are you serious with that? So, I don't know what's harder to believe. That Kuzma for 2020 with basically a fully healthy Wizards team. Or, I still refuse to believe this happened. It must have been fake stats. Jared Vanderbilt. Okay? Jared Vanderbilt, a solid role player in the NBA. Guy that can kind of do it all. Good defender. Can get those peripheral stats. Nothing crazy. Just a good role player. He goes for 60 tonight with everyone there from Minnesota. I was looking at that after the game. There's just no way, right? It has to be incorrect. There's no way Jared Vanderbilt goes for 60 and you get a 2020 game from Kuzma. What on earth happened tonight? So that's all I got, guys. Let's talk about this 7-gamer. We'll start off in Milwaukee and Charlotte. So no Drew Holiday, no Lopez, no Grayson Allen. Pat Connaughton might be coming back, which is pretty significant. We'll talk about that, really for the value. So at the top, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he had me scared for a second, guys, and that was on Saturday. I was all over Giannis. He had 15 fantasy points at half against Charlotte. I'm like, is Giannis okay here? What's going on? He blew up in the second half, went for 70 fantasy points total, but I was a little bit nervous. Now, I actually saw 37 minutes too, which is really good to see. So I think Giannis makes for a great spend up. Middleton, 8.4, should be the number 2 in offense here. 40 and 53 fantasy points the last couple games without Drew Holiday. I think is a solid option in the mid-range. Again, this is just a great matchup. Charlotte plays no defense. And then Bobby Portis at 6.8K. Again, no Boogie Cousins. He played 37 minutes. So if we're going to get that amount of minutes for Bobby Portis, he looks really, really good. The answer is yes, guys. I played Jordan Nwora last game, and I'm sure you saw what he shot. 1 of 11. It's like also, Maxi Kleber playing last couple sites low ownership. One game, shoots 1 of 10. Other game, random blowout. Tonight, I finally fade. He absolutely smashes. Again, that was a lock to happen. But yeah, back to Nwora. So, after what he did to me last night, get your pen and paper out. Jordan Nwora, big game, book it, just to tilt me even more. And then if Pat Connaughton's in, it's going to take basically the secondary plays out of play for me here in Milwaukee. If Pat Connaughton is out, then yeah, we can look to the dust of Wesley Matthews and Rodney Hood. But my God, these guys are washed up. Rodney Hood, Wesley Matthews. I'm surprised either of these guys are on a team right now. But Wesley Matthews has played 30 minutes now in back-to-back games. They do have Dante DiVincenzo not in the injury report. Now, he hasn't been playing big minutes, but that could also probably takes a couple minutes away from the dust of Matthews and Rodney Hood. All right, moving on to Charlotte. So, also that last slate, I played a low-owned LaMelo Ball, absolutely smashing, random foul trouble. 26 minutes, 44 fantasy points. He got massive foul trouble, lost a good 8 to 10 minutes. So, if LaMelo stays out of foul trouble and plays mid-30s minutes in this matchup, I think he makes for a really good play. He also has shooting guard eligibility, which is nice. He's not a shooting guard. He is definitely their point guard. But, I have some interest in LaMelo. Now, the secondary options here for Charlotte, you're never going to feel good about these guys, but they all have upside, right? Like Miles Bridges, 7'4". He can go for 50+. So I think he's a good tournament play. Terry Rozier, again, I swear there's no in between with this guy. He's going for 40 plus or he's going for under 20. It's just, sure, okay, one game in between. But more often than not, he is either booming or he's busting. So, again, a good tournament play, right? This game should be like a super high over-under, so have interest there. Gordon Hayward at 6'3", started really, really slow, but again, he still has upside too. So, like, the Hornets team, I love targeting players against them, but talking about the team itself, like Charlotte, it's always super hard because, like, there's no one ever, unless the team's like really shorthanded, that you can really go to with confidence. PJ Washington, to no one's surprise, fouled out in 23 minutes, but I think he could play mid to high 20s minutes in a matchup like this. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now for the Hornets. I mean, Martin at 4-1 probably wouldn't do it. And then Plumlee at 4-5. Again, the minutes been trending down on him. I think this is more of a PJ Washington type matchup. All right, Utah and Detroit. So no Gobert, no Rudy Gay, no Joe Ingles. We'll start with Donovan Mitchell, who went off last game, went for 56 fantasy points in 37 minutes. Detroit, it's a great matchup. It's just a matter of, can the Pistons keep this game competitive, right? That's what you had to worry about if you're targeting these Utah guys. But, yeah, I mean, I like the upset a good amount there in Mitchell. We got to talk about Bojan Bogdanovic. Also, can we talk, this game, right? 61 from Bojan, 36 and 13 with 4 assists. Like, what on earth is that stat line? Again, we are just seeing some unreal things happen last couple of slates here with NBA. I don't believe this happened either. Like that did not happen. But he's also playing massive minutes. 35, 35, 40, and 37 minutes because, again, there's no Ingles and there's no Gay. So I don't mind going to Bojan in this spot if the Pistons can keep things competitive. He does have upside. Conley at 5'9", should play around 30 minutes. More of a secondary play. Clarkson, again, role doesn't change a ton. Probably pushes for high 20s, minutes off the bench. Fine tournament play. Whiteside has been a really big letdown here last couple sites. He's been the absolute chalk in everything, and it's just been kind of disappointing. 20 fancy points there against Toronto in 30 minutes, 17 against the Pacers in 25. But when he comes off the bench and plays like 12 minutes, he goes for 30 fancy points. So the price went up on Whiteside. I don't think the ownership's going to be that high. But if he starts again, he can still, he has a lot of upside. I know he's been disappointing as chalk last couple of slates, but who cares, right? I don't care what happened last couple of games. I know the type of upside that Whiteside has. So I think he's a good play at this price, and I think the masses will be scared off based on last couple of performances. So you might get a lower owned Whiteside here. And again, he could go for 40 plus, and I would not be surprised at all. Royce O'Neal, 4-5, not a high usage guy, but he's going to play huge minutes, probably 35 plus in a competitive game. So I think he's a relatively safe value play. And then Rudy Gay, again, he missed the game, or he played in the game last game, but he's out for this one. So, they went to Danwell House at 3K. I don't think I can stomach playing him. But yeah, he's on the team. I mean, I get he can get hot behind the 3-point land. Pascal didn't really play. Neither did Trent Forrest. So don't really know if I can consider anyone else here in Utah. I mean, as a bouquet, Pele will play the backup 5, but I probably will not go there. Moving on to Detroit. So, when Detroit's a healthier team, it's a team that's always kind of boring to me. Cade Cunningham, 7-7. Tough matchup. Has not shot well last couple of games. 5-19, 3-14. But I think you can go to him for GPP. Sadiq Bey at 7K has really been disappointing since Cade Cunningham's come back. So not a ton of interest there. Not much interest in Diallo. Isaiah Stewart is just always in foul trouble. But he probably plays mid-20s minutes in this game. Again, not a ton of interest there. I played a low on Killian Hayes last game, guys. He literally had 12 fancy points at the end of the first quarter. He finished with 12. I mean, you draft Killian Hayes over Halliburton? Really? I'm still tilted over that. They dusted off Corey Joseph, and he's back in the rotation for some reason. I don't want to talk about the rest of the Pistons. I'm not going to anyone else in Detroit. So let's move on to Indiana and Boston. We got to keep an eye on the news here. So Brogdon's status is questionable. I believe LeVert is still in the protocols, but we'll get news on that. So the monitoring the two pieces of news here for the guards is really important. Sabonis at 10-3. If both guards are out again, then, I mean, he's going to be their highest usage player. Going for 58 fantasy points, 42 real-life points for Domantas Sabonis. Again, my boy loves Sabonis. I think he would make for a pretty good player at the top. Turner at 6'5" wouldn't really stand out. I guess Lance Stevenson is just, again, the Undertaker gif. He's all of a sudden just amazing again. Went for 16 points, 14 assists, 6 boards, and 4 steals. Like I said, I mean, what is going on here? But yeah, if both guards are out, you can take a shot on Lance Stevenson off the bench. I'm not going to say no. You are paying an absolute premium for him, but hey, he's been playing really well. And then we can consider some of these guards like Sykes, Washington, Duarte if Brogdon and LeVert are both out. Sykes probably starts. I think it's a fair value option. Washington at 4'8", played 32 minutes, again, playable. And then Duarte ended up coming off the bench, only played 19, which was a little bit surprising. He only played 19 minutes, but yeah, that's probably it. I mean, I guess Jeremy Lamb, he played 16 minutes. I think there's probably better value on the slate. On the Boston side, so when Boston's fully healthy, it's just a team that's kind of unappealing to me, right? Like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, one of these guys will have a pretty good game. Good luck trying to figure out which ones to be, right? We saw the exact same matchup here against the Knicks. 2 games ago, he won for 65 against the Knicks. Last game, 26. Let's take a look at Jaylen Brown. 2 games ago, 25 in the same matchup. Last game, 58, right? So, yeah, I mean, if the game stays competitive, you probably will see one of those Boston guys have a good game of Tatum or Brown. But, I mean, good luck trying to figure out which ones to be, right? Robert Williams seems priced outright. Horford is sub 6K, but did only play 20 minutes last game. That was definitely disappointing. Smart and Schroeder will handle the point guard duties. I mean, I guess Schroeder 5'1" is worth a look in tournaments, but it's kind of boring team. Not much that I'm really interested in. Moving on to the Spurs. All right. Who's ready, right? I know you guys are. I know you're ready to get popped because I'm ready to get popped on this slate. Back-to-back here. You already know what's going to happen. But yeah, no Derek White, no Kelvin Johnson, no Vassell, no Trey Jones, no Thad Young. McDermott is, I believe, still out too. So, starting with DeJounte Murray at 9.7K. If the Spurs keep this game competitive, you're probably seeing 35-plus minutes from him, and he's going to be their do-it-all guy. Almost went for a triple-double last game. It went to overtime, so I think DeJounte Murray makes for a pretty good spend-up. Now, there is some blowout risk because the Spurs are shorthanded, but yeah, DeJounte Murray's just going to do everything for this team. We probably get around 30 minutes from Jakob Poeltl, which I think makes him a fair play in the mid-range. Decent rebounder. Again, he can block some shots. The value here is where it gets interesting, right? And you just know if you go to one of these value plays, whatever you're going to get popped, right? Pop will dust off someone at the end of the bench and play them 30 minutes. But, yeah, I mean, Lonnie Walker, he played, 33 minutes, so 28 in regulation. I mean, he'll probably be their second highest usage guy outside of DeJounte Murray. So I think he makes her a pretty good play at his price. You had Bryn Forbes at 4K come off the bench, played 25 minutes. We know this guy's not afraid to shoot the ball. Keita Bates-Diop at 3.8K. Played 37, so 32 in regulation. Not a great point per minute guy, but is also really, really cheap and probably plays big minutes. Primo at 3.6, played huge minutes. Again, he's been kind of up and down his rookie year, but he's also really, really cheap. So, that group of value are all firmly in play. And then they dusted off Devontae Kaycock, and he played 16 minutes and went off to 25 fantasy points. I mean, I'm sure if you guys played Summer League, you recognize this guy. We played him a lot on the Summer League roster for the Lakers because he's a really good point per minute guy. Now, I'm not sure if he even plays in this game, but I just thought I'd mention that he did get some run and he played really well. So in a large field tournament, if you want to roll the dice, you could. Let's move on to New York. So another team that I just really don't like talking about this team. There's a couple teams, the Jazz. I just don't like talking about the Knicks. I just can't get this team right? Julius Randle, 9-1. He'll play big minutes. Price could come down a bit. He's fine. Got to keep an eye on Kemba Walker news. If Kemba Walker plays, then there's not a ton I'm super interested on the next side. If Kemba, well, also we have Fournier status up in the air, who, again, don't get me started on what he did that last game, but if both those guys are out, then we got to consider these secondary plays here for the Knicks, right? So Alec Burks at 5'6", started last game, played 34 minutes. Last couple games, 1 of 10 and 2 of 11. But yeah, I would probably feel the best about him for the minutes we've been getting from Alec Burks. RJ Barrett at 6'4", played 43 minutes last game. He would be a fair play in the mid-range. Quickly started. If he starts again at 4.9K, I think he would make for a pretty good value play. The two centers, you're going to split time, so neither really stands out to me. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And then if Fournier and Kemba Walker end up playing, it'll probably just be a team that I stay away from. Philadelphia and Houston, can Houston keep any game competitive? They're just awful. I don't know if there's a worse. The Pistons, I was going to say, I don't know if there's a worse team in the league, but Pistons and Rockets it's really close. But yeah, on the Philadelphia side, so Joel Embiid is just in a smash spot. It's not a question of will Joel Embiid have a good game? No, because we know he's going to have a good game. It's a question of can the Rockets keep this game competitive, right? So I really like Embiid, but I'm worried this game doesn't stay competitive. Tobias feels priced about right. Now, no Maxey, no Milton. So Seth Curry playing the point actually gets a really, really big boost, right? 12 and 7 assists last couple games. He's also gone for 7 rebounds, too, in those games. Now, that kind of feels like an outlier. I don't think he's going to continue to get 7 boards a game because Seth Curry has turned from a score-independent guard into this guy who's just stuffing the stat sheet last couple games. Now, the assists should be there, right? Because he's going to play the point, most likely if Maxey and Milton are still out. So I do have some interest in Seth Curry, even at that price point, because, again, the floor goes way up. Korkmaz at 4.9. Still been getting some decent minutes. I think he's playable in a good matchup, right? He does have upside if he can knock down his shots. Thibault should play big minutes, but not a ton of upside. Again, more out there for his defense. Danny Green, my God, again. Wait, did they change something here? They gave him a steal. I don't know if that's wrong, but he originally had a 0-0-0, and then they gave him a steal here. But I don't know. Danny Green, I just can't stomach it on a 7-game slate. Moving on to Houston. So here's the question. Do you think Houston keep this game close? If the answer is yes, then you probably want to look to guys like Christian Wood and KPJ, right? Christian Wood, going to be one of their highest usage players on offense. 40-plus fantasy points now in 2 of the last 3 games. So you're going to look to him, and you're going to look to Kevin Porter Jr., who both should play big minutes if this game stays close. So those 2 are probably guys you want to look to. Tate, Green, Gordon, more secondary plays. But if you think the game blows out, then you can look to the likes of KJ Martin at 4K, Josh Christopher at 3.5K, Garrison Matthews would be in play at 3.9. So just depends on what you think happens with this game, whether or not you think it stays close or blows out. Moving on to Cleveland and Sacramento. So Cleveland just got destroyed tonight at Golden State. Darius Garland, I know there's been a lot of hype for him, but just completely lays an egg in a big matchup. 18 fantasy points in 33 minutes. But now he gets a great matchup here against Sacramento. Prices have come down a little bit on him, so I think he's a viable spend up. The bigs were all bad against Golden State, but now they get Sacramento, which again is just a much better matchup. So the likes of Allen, Mobley, Love, all in play. And Love only played 14 minutes last game. I think that's just because of the matchup against Golden State, but those 3 are in play because the matchup is great. So, and I don't know if the ownership will be that high in any of the bigs just because boxer watchers will see what happened last game. But yeah, all 3 of these bigs have upside, especially in this spot. Marking in at 5'8". Again, just more of a secondary play. He'll play around 30 minutes. Chetty Osman's 4'7". Now, he did only play 20 minutes last game, which was a little bit disappointing. And I'll mention Rajon Rondo, who I was questioning. I was like, is he going to play the Ricky Rubio role here? Well, it was looking like it the first game against Portland, and then he only finished with 17 minutes. But against Golden State, 29 minutes. So if, in fact, he is, and he's going to play mid-20s minutes, then I think he makes for a really good value. But we've only seen 2 games so far. So if we only get 18 minutes of Rondo, don't like him as much. If I knew Rondo's going to play 29 minutes again, I would really like him at this price point. All right, Sacramento. So the 2 guards, Fox, Halliburton, both have upside. Both have a floor. Fox won for 40-plus fantasy points the last 4 games, besides last game where he just didn't do anything. Halliburton, again, been a little bit up and down. But I think both these guards are viable here. Cleveland has been good defensively, but I think both those guys are in play for tournaments. Hield, Barnes, Bagley, If the centers are still out again, if Holmes is still out and Damian Jones is still out, then we can look to Alex Len, who I played at very low ownership tonight, and he went off 30 fancy points. He's a pretty solid point per minute guy, and this is a big team. So if he stays out of foul trouble, I'm thinking he plays at least 20 minutes. So would like Len. God, I can't talk. And then Tristan Thompson would be the backup 5. If Len gets in some foul trouble, it's probably Tristan Thompson that comes in. So the 2 centers definitely viable here for Sacramento. And finally, Brooklyn and Portland. So great matchup here for Brooklyn. The question is, can the Blazers keep this game competitive? Now, price points on Durant and Harden don't really stand out to me because Kyrie Irving is playing in this game on the road. So KD, Harden, more secondary plays. The guy that I like the best here is Kyrie Irving, who in his first game back played 32 minutes, went for 38 fancy points. So I think if I'm going to take a shot in one of these big 3, it's going to be Kyrie because he's the cheapest of the big 3. And I don't think there would be a limit on him for this game, but we'll keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Aldridge news, too. If he can't go, I think Nick Claxton would be a viable secondary play. Played 33 minutes last game. Again, that game did go to overtime, but Claxton are probably the one secondary play I would look to if Aldridge can't go. But the rest are just kind of out of play with Kyrie coming back. It's just too thin for me to go to anyone else. And then finally, Portland. So no Dame, no CJ, no Norman Powell, no Larry Nance. We got to start with my boy. And let me just say this. Nothing makes me happier than seeing Yusuf Nurkic absolutely smash. He almost went for a triple-double tonight. He had 1 assist short. 14 points, 16 boards, 9 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. And this is the big one. 38 minutes. If we are going to get close to 40 minutes from Yusuf Nurkic in this spot, I like him a lot. I think the way Nurkic fails tomorrow is, 1, he gets in foul trouble, which he is prone. That's definitely possible. He's tilted me a lot for that reason. 1, he gets in foul trouble, or 2, the game blows out, which is definitely likely because Portland is extremely shorthanded. So that's the way Nurkic is going to fail. And then Anthony Simons, this is his team now, right? 38, 39, 34, and 35 minutes. He's showing everyone what he can do. 60, 45, 31, and 45 fantasy points the last 4 games. Brooklyn plays fast too. So I think he makes her a pretty good play in the mid-range. And then, there's still a lot to like here. If the Blazers keep this game close, it's going to be a tight rotation. So, Nasir Little at 5K, he probably plays mid-30s minutes. I think he looks pretty good. Covington at 4-9 off the bench, we probably get mid-30s minutes from him. No issue going to him. Now, I will say, he did have 3 steals and 3 blocks. So, he does, more often than not, he's going to need a game like that to have a really good game. Or he just gets extremely hot behind the 3-point land. Dennis Smith Jr. or 4.7K. Again, it's not getting enough minutes for me to consider him. Ben McLemore, again, he picks up 4 fouls. He basically didn't play at all in the third quarter because of foul trouble. And he was low owned. I was again, just so much tilt from tonight, guys. But McLemore, the downside is he's score independent. But if he starts again, we're probably getting 30-plus minutes from Ben McLemore, and he's 3.3K. So definitely have interest in him. And that's probably it. Watford and Zeller got a little bit of run off the bench. CJ Ellaby got minutes, but I don't think I can do it. So, yeah, guys, that is going to do it for the video today. If you have been enjoying the content, just make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Really appreciate all your guys' support. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night, and I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow. So I will see you guys all in the YouTube live stream tomorrow.